Let's take it back to when we first met. You were my everything, I would never forget.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today, as promised, I am gonna go ahead and do a review on the Fenty foundation. Now, before we go anywhere, I went to Sephora and they did not have my shade, which I think is around a $4.50, I believe. So I was only able to get a few samples, and I would honestly suggest getting a sample of foundation before you make a purchase, because you want to make sure that it matches with the undertones and the hues of your skin.
Hey guys, so I did want to mention that I went back to Sephora a few days later and I found my shade. Yes, and you will see that I am in love. I am actually a 450, and here's how the 450 turned out. So stay tuned for this video and see how I applied my makeup.
And with that, I'm also going to do my foundation, contour, highlight, all of that routine in this video. I feel like I'm rambling now, so I'm gonna go ahead and get into this video. Okay, so first, if you are a woman of color and you're around my skin complexion, you don't even necessarily have to be around my skin complexion, but I know that women of color typically have hyperpigmentation underneath the eyes, around the mouth, sometimes around like the chin area. This is where we just typically have areas of hyperpigmentation. So the first thing you want to do is apply a corrector, and the corrector that I'm using is the orange in the LA Girl Pro concealers. Now, I love the consistency, I love the coverage, and it makes your makeup come out like flawless. I'm gonna go ahead first and apply the color corrector to the areas where I have that was a bug. I have hyperpigmentation. And my baby mustache. Don't act like you don't have a mustache, because we want to be flawless, honey. Yes, yes. So you can either do this one or two ways. You can blend it out with your finger, or you can do it out with a brush. But oh my gosh, y'all, I forgot to apply my primer. So here's what we're gonna do. This is gonna look a little weird, but you know what? This could be a learning experience for both of us, because you could be putting on your makeup and realize, oh shoot, I forgot to put on my primer. We gonna back it up. I use actually two forms of primer. The first one that I use, and people say you shouldn't use it, blah, 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 whatever. It's what works for me, and this really helps to control the oil. That is the Milk of Magnesia, and I put it in this little bottle here. But I usually apply this to the areas of my skin where I get the most oily. So that's here, that's my nose, that's there. Rub it in, rub it in. And it's okay if it gets on the concealer, it's fine. Step two is to apply an actual primer. And my go-to, very affordable, is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus. And again, keep in mind, you probably want to do this before you apply the corrector. But since we're already here, that's what we're gonna do. All right, honey, we're back. Next, using this e.l.f. foundation brush. This is $1. You can get it from Walmart, Target. I even believe they sell these in a Dollar Tree now. So gonna go ahead and use this and press this into my skin. And again, this is going to camouflage the dark areas. I'd like to do it over my eyes. I will not be applying any type of eyeshadow in this video, but whether or not I'm wearing eyeshadow, I still like to go ahead and apply it, because my eyelids are also a bit darker than the rest of my skin. And you can already tell, like you can already see it, you know, hiding your black eye. I really hope you don't have a black eye. Now that we have our primer, our oil blocker, which is Milk of Magnesia. Get your life. You don't want to use it, you don't have to. And our color corrector on. Now we can apply our foundation. So the color of the foundation that I did, I was able to get my hands on was 470. Now, we don't know if this color is going to match my skin, but we're gonna give it a try. I'm just gonna use a foundation brush to apply it because it is in a tube. And I can already tell you that the consistency of this looks very blendable. So let me go ahead and put that. Oh, yep, it's darker than my skin. But I'm gonna show y'all how I can make it work, okay? We gonna make this work today. And when I say it's off, I mean it's off because I think I have more of yellow undertones than I do red undertones. And this 470 appears to have more red undertones. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in with my Real Techniques Beauty Blender and buff this into the skin. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, okay, come through, Rihanna. Now I know what all the raving was about. This is clearly darker, but we're gonna work with it. Wow. I did not use a lot of foundation. For this to be a sample, like I have a lot left. Wow. I am very, very, very impressed by the coverage of this foundation. And so anytime you're applying foundation, you also want to bring this down to your neck because you don't want to be 2 shades, honey. 2 chains, but not 2 shades. Damn! Note to self, 470 is too dark, go to 450. You can always apply your foundation 1 or 2 ways. You can use a stippling brush. Mine is dirty, judge your mama. I think stippling brushes are great to apply foundation with. But even after using a stippling brush, I always like to go in with a beauty blender because it just gives you more of a natural finish. So yeah, it's just really weird like seeing myself this color. Don't get me wrong, honey, black is beautiful in any shade, okay? So don't come for me in the comments, honey. Honey, not today, Satan, not today. But this foundation, regardless of the fact that it is too dark for me, is amazing. The coverage is amazing. I only did 1 application, and for 1 application, like, this is pretty bomb. Hands down, one of the best foundations that I have used. So Sephora, next time I come, can y'all have a real girl shade, please? Thanks. Okay, so next I am gonna go in with my handy dandy trusted never lets me down concealer, which is the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the color Fawn. And I'm also going to mix it with the color Medium Beige. Now, I did see the Glam Twins. I don't know if it was Kelsey or Kendra who did it, but I saw her do it one time and I was like, ooh, yes! You better work, girl. So I'm gonna go ahead first and go in with the color Fawn. As you can see, now that I have foundation on, it just looks very blah. It's a blank canvas. There's nothing that pops out. And so I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the highlights, nose, forehead, chin, under eye of my face. Putting hearts and stuff. Okay, so let's put a heart. Boom, 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 boom. She's an artist. Okay, so now that we have this on, we're gonna go ahead and take the other side of the sponge and blend it in. And we're just gonna pat, 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 pat. Remember, and I didn't say this in the beginning, so sorry, but your beauty blender should always be damp. It'll probably be this size, and this is the size that it'll be once you wet it. Another one, just gonna go ahead and blend it in. And I'm blending it in and I'm going out this way. Also want to mention, now once again, I got this tip from Makeup Shayla. You want to bring the concealer in like on your nose, really. You don't want to stop it here because it'll create like a shadow or basically like a line, and you don't necessarily want that. So you want to bring it in a little bit to your nose. And I also did want to mention, you do want to work with this rather quickly because once it dries, it's harder to blend out. So as you can see, this is more like of a natural highlight, but if you want that boom, you need to go a little lighter. I'm going to go over my highlight with the same areas. And this time we're going to work fast because we don't want our concealer drying up on us. And we are done highlighting. The next thing you need to do, you need to do this, sis, because you don't want to be creasing all over the place. Next thing you want to do is set your concealer. And I know you guys hear that term a lot of you may not understand what that means, but setting your concealer means you're going to apply a loose type of powder so that it doesn't move or that it doesn't crease throughout the day, if that makes sense. And so the one that I like to use has no flashback, it's not gonna have you looking like Casper the Friendly Ghost, is the Sacha Buttercup setting powder. And I love this because it has a yellow undertone versus the Ben Nye powder, but who needs it? So I'm gonna go ahead and dip and pat off the excess. And I'm going to apply this to the places where I applied concealer. And I am going to basically press this into the skin. Now it might look a little crazy in the beginning, but sis gonna have you looking right. I don't bake because I don't feel the need to, and honestly when I used to bake I used to look like a ghost. So I don't do that no more. I'm gonna go and use this big fluffy brush and I'm gonna just wipe away, dust away the excess because we don't need it. And next thing I'm going to do is apply a powder foundation, and that should resemble the color of your skin, and we're gonna go ahead and put that on all the places where we did not apply the setting powder. Use a flat top brush. I've always loved this powder foundation. It's by L'Oreal. It's the Infallible Pro Matte. I am in the shade 800 Cocoa. So I'm just gonna boom. And as you can see, this is adding that color and that warmthness back into my skin. I am not the biggest fan of contouring. I already have like a defined face, if that makes sense, like boom jaw, boom cheeks. Like I don't necessarily need contouring because there is a natural contour that happens with your face. Like boom, she contoured already, she didn't have to do much, you know what I'm saying? So the only thing that I do sometimes is contour my nose, and I'm using this contour concealer stick by Black Radiance. Here's what it looks like, and it is in the shade 8003. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go from the top of my nose to right there. Gonna do the same thing on this side. And I'm just gonna blend this in with my finger. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of contouring, so what I like to do is apply a bronzer instead, and my favorite one, obviously I've hit the pan, and obviously I'm not gonna buy one until she's finished. So I'm gonna use this angled fluffy brush, And this is what I use for my bronzing. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and apply it like so. And this again is going to bring that color back to my face. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and apply a setting spray. Now I did recently start using this Cover FX spray. I got it in the monthly subscription box by BoxyCharm. This is an illuminating setting spray, but y'all, it's not the same like as my e.l.f. and it's cheaper, but I just love the, like, this is like a versus a that I really need. So I just like using this one. I'm almost out. It's $4. You can get it from Walmart or Target. Like this, it doesn't really do it for me. So I'm just gonna go ahead and spray this, and this is setting spray. It's basically gonna help to calm down the powdery, dead, casket looking. And you want to do this right before you apply your highlight, because it's gonna be boom, right, metro booming in your face, and that's what you want. You want to shine on them hoes. Next, I'm gonna go in with a fan brush. I prefer using the smaller ones versus the bigger ones, because for me, they just do it. They apply better. I'm gonna go ahead with the BH Cosmetics Missy Lynn palette, and I love mixing these two highlights together. They give me like the perfect match. So I'm gonna go ahead, and you want to apply the highlight to the highest points of your cheek, and you want to do it in like a circular boom, flick of the wrist, flick of the wrist. You want to do it in that type of motion. Y'all see that? You see that, sis? Okay, so now that we are highlighted to the gods, we're gonna put a little bit more on our Cupid's bow and down the bridge of our nose, because we want to be extra. Who doesn't want to be extra? Let's apply a little lip gloss, shall we? We shall. You know what, I'm feeling a little good, so let's go ahead and add a little bit of liner before we complete this look. Instead of pulling your eye down, you want to push your eye in, if that makes sense. And honestly, it's so much easier to apply it when you do it this way. And I also always like to apply eyeliner on the top of my lid. I'm gonna go ahead and put on some mascara. I am using the e.l.f. mascara in black. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. I did go ahead and apply some eyeliner and mascara to my top and bottom lashes. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe and thumbs up this video if you enjoyed it. Again, feel free to leave some comments down in the description box below. Let me know what you want to see next, and I will see you on my next video. Bye guys.